Oh my god, they let me back in the booth again.
I know. What were we thinking?
I don't know. Someone's getting a performance review for this. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or time is still a social construct. Yep. Hi everyone. Welcome to the last match of the week. Welcome to ZZ6. We're doing it again, this time with RydiaCaller and flossiefern. I'm Martin, everybody knows me. Vitasia, everybody knows Vitasia too. Devilward's in the back pushing buttons. Dave is the one making this all go and probably on fire somewhere, but that's okay. Vitasia, I think this is the first time I've been in the booth with you.
I know. I mean, we keep on crossing paths. We've been in the community for years at this point.
While.
Yeah. A while, yeah.
While.
Oh, but this should be an exciting one, yeah.
It should be. What are we looking at? I see a Quack Kid as a hero.
Well, we see a Quack Kid as a hero, and of course it is, Sea Hero, so we're stuck with him regardless. This has been kind of a mage-heavy flag set, as we've seen in this first week, so always welcome to see a black mage that will always gain levels, even if he takes a hit early on. Looking over the objectives that we have, we were talking a little bit about it. Double Baron, we have both the Baron Castle Basement Throne and Liberate Baron. So that's a double for us, but otherwise no other doubles, just a single Hook Seed and a single Launch the Falcon and a single Darkness Crystal. So lots of spread among these objectives.
Yeah, very much so. Usually it's kind of a routing thing where you look at least for me, I've played a few of these. Okay, I've played a lot of these. Who am I kidding? But you kind of have a game plan when you look at these objectives. And a lot of them, it's like, okay, well, there's, 2, 3 objectives on the moon, or you have Pinktail, Rattail, or Falcon, Pinktail, where it's like, okay, I need to launch the hovercraft, or, hey, I need to get to the moon ASAP. This is so widespread that I think you're going to see a lot of variety in this one. Like, there's not really a direction you're pointed as far as objective goes. I mean, these could be anywhere.
No, absolutely. And you see kind of the route differentiating happen really from the word go. We've talked about if you have multiple hook objectives, a lot of people will route in just launching the hovercraft in the first couple minutes or so because it's nice looting. But without it, maybe you dodge that for a little bit until you absolutely know you need it, especially with no other objectives.
Yeah, the flaw in that comes with the whole flag set, I think, because of, obviously Min Tier 3 being on. Zoom, we're off and running. Let's see who the character is, and I'll elaborate on it for a second. What do we have? Oh! That's a nice character to see.
I'm happy with this start personally, and with the Forge.
Item. Okay, all right, I can work with this. So yeah, you look at this party, and, the usual thing is, go find some loot, right? Unless you start with the Dancing Dagger, and then you're fine. But because of T-Pro and everything, and the waiting and all that, things you're looking for, obviously Heroine Robe is like Christmas. Dancing Dagger would be nice. But, quantity of chests, because of how Min Tier 3 works, like, Watery Pass is just fantastic. And it routes into Damsian so well that you're looking at those like, okay, that's a good quantity of chests. You launch the hovercraft, you get set up for Hobbs, and, zoom, away you go. So, but being proven incorrect immediately, we see Evelyn on RydiaCaller and a quick spy of Baron. And, oh boy, it's Wang. I'm so happy he's in the seed.
Yeah, Yang has really had a glow up. We did see flossiefern also pull that Dancing Dagger, as you point out, in the Baron chests there. So we're online. We can already kill at least a couple things.
I'm pretty sure I just saw a White Spear, Leviathan, and an Ogreax out of Evelyn before we hit a trap.
Yeah, so, we're coming back for those.
Yeah, if we find characters for those, like, oh, hey, look, it's Bulbaz. We're never going to see you again.
Happy to see him there, that I can reset out. Absolutely.
Look at that. Wow, looting Rydia's house. What did Rydia do
this
to you?
This is niche. This
nice.
is This is not someplace that you see a lot of people take some
No.
time. I mean, maybe in a loot goblin seed, but this is kind of out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, all it takes is, hit one item in there. It's like, I'm a genius. I wouldn't know. That never happens to me. Ever.
I mean, there is a little never, of course. There is some incentive to check these things just because shopping is so relatively powerful, I think, in this flag set compared to others as well. So you do have to check the shops.
You're not guaranteed at finding a dancing dagger. So, you'll want obviously, Flossie's got one, so we're fine there. But, things like cure tubes, life potions, like you're checking item shops. If you're going to do, or a boomerang for that matter, in case Edge turns up, just, little things like that actually do matter in this flag set. So, speaking of Edge, wow. Look at that. Boy,
That's an instant snap take if we end up finding that sand ruby.
Step 1, find sand ruby. Step 2, question. Step 3, profit. I think that's how that works, right?
Yeah, I think we found a couple weapons as well. I've seen at least a middle sword lying around. Plus, by the time you get that, I'm sure that dancing dagger won't be needed on our paladin anymore. So,
yep. I did see cure tubes for sale in Kaipo. Good to know. Those do come in handy. Hey, watery pass.
Here's this watery pass play that you talked about.
This is like I said, for me, this is like, I don't want to say bread and butter, but like this is kind of it. Like you do this, you do the back watery pass, you do Damsium. That's like 25 boxes.
Oh, there was a dancing dagger that RydiaCaller picked up as well.
And that's honestly, that's probably enough to get you through Hobbs.
Oh, there was a Stardust rod there as well. Okay.
Oh, now you're just being greedy. Hey, look, it's
the heroin row.
Nah.
Okay, we don't need to loot anymore. We're good for this seed for a while.
Well, hold on. Heroin robe is nice, but you do need something kind of.
You do need some arrows or something.
Yeah, hit things with. So, I mean, look, a heroin robe and a staff probably ain't gonna do a lot. It'd be funny, but it probably isn't gonna do a lot.
All right, so Rydia has a Stardust Rod and a Rune Ring on Palom. Meanwhile, Flossie does have the Heroin Robe. As soon as we can get something to punch a little bit with that Rose Head, it'll be fantastic. Otherwise, we're about 5 minutes in doing that. We have Rydia going over, confident she can get Hobbs done. Meanwhile, Flossie is doing Damsium Basement.
Oh my God, look at that. It's not on Zot 1. Wow. Incredible. Notice I said absolutely nothing about Edward, though.
Yeah, I think the real value is going to be the Demus.
Yeah. Well, on the good side, that means you're not looking for Demus anymore. So that's nice. On the bad side, what's this Demus gonna cough up? You know what would be funny?
Huh.
Just get the Baron Key out of the way.
We just want to do the Baron Key right out the gate?
Just give them the Baron Key. That way, the Baron Key is always buried. Like, the running joke for, at least, most of the people I know, is that the Baron Key is always in Luca. Like, always.
You know what?
It'd be funny.
I like that. I want that, and I think it's going to take the power of 2 commentators' curses for that to happen. So we'll have to both will it into existence.
Yeah.
So here we go. Here we go.
I think that would be. I think that would be great. Because I mean, you're gonna push for that character. Yang is sitting in Baron Inn. Well, Rydia doesn't. But yeah, okay. We're not beelining and check Demus. That's okay. Don't forget Demus. That's why I have it on a post-it note. Shh, don't tell anyone. I haven't forgotten demist in the last 72 hours. I don't know.
Meanwhile, RydiaCaller said, let's go ahead and do Antlion. For a while, it became vogue to kind of skip over Antlion until you had an exit caster, but I think these days, just get it out of the way.
Rydia is Team Carter. Good for you. We're bringing the Carter back, folks.
Okay, explain.
What? That chest? That chest hasn't been checked since the Carter administration. But I'm beginning to bring it back into rotation, so I'm happy that other people loot it too.
I mean, aside, oh, there's another ogre axe, by the way, in the back.
Now we just got to find characters for it.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, I've seen an earth hammer, I've seen ogre axes,
Yeah.
we've seen a thunderclub, but we do have a gang who can at least wield it.
Leviathan, White Spear, like it's just like, yeah, just characters. I need characters. Meanwhile, Ed's like, I'm trying to help. I have a dancing dagger. You know what a dancing dagger is going to do in this fight? Nothing.
Nothing.
No, what are you doing? No, parry. Just parry. Just, no. Start us
This is my favorite part of Martin commentary is what would he do during all of this?
Don't let Ed do anything.
Just start us rod and clear it.
You can't even kill a dimp with a dancing dagger. Ah. Edward needs to go back to Bard School. There's small classes.
Here,
not
here we got a twin heart, and over here on Flossiefern's side. So what do we got here? Did we manage to curse it? Oh my God, we did.
Okay, look. Just because I haven't been on comms in forever, my powers of prediction are still on point. So, y'all welcome.
Oh my goodness. So, I mean, that opens things up quite a bit. We know we're going to be doing that pretty directly.
Yeah. I think, funny enough, I think Rydia's going to have the better time with it because that Stardust Rod just, early game, it does so much damage. Like, you can just lean on that thing.
Well, let's not forget, we did have a blue rope to start things out with.
That's true.
And if it's that,
gauntlet,
yeah.
That's free. Like, eh.
Yeah, I mean, that's a real easy way to get through all of that if we have that. So Rydia will have a much easier time there. Flossie's kind of taking things in their normal progression. Wants a couple more levels before we do that. Ooh.
Oh.
What?
That's, wow. Thank you. That's convenient.
I appreciate that. That will help us get through this faster.
I feel like Wyvern's like, it's that Friday, like, look, I got a 3-day weekend coming up. Can we speed this up? I need to get out of here.
Ignoring the fact that it's Sunday and we're trying to slow things down so we don't get to tomorrow.
Wyvern, look, there's a reason why Wyvern has Wyvern Standard Time. They operate on their own, like, time thing. Days don't matter.
All right. Meanwhile, RydiaCaller is in Baron going to be checking out. Oh,
that's
okay.
A nice find. You know how many people fade Fabul? Like, oh, I only want to do Fabul once or twice. This is why you don't fade Fabul.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a magma key early on, maybe, but
19 lit arrows. I'm pretty sure that's a call out to me. Thank you, Rydia. Appreciated. Wait, are we going for Wang? Hey, did you know I have a button for Wang?
You have a button?
I do. You ready?
I'm ready.
Check this out.
You're out of your mind, Wang. God bless you.
There you go. Tell me what movie that's from.
I'm gonna defer to chat. Chat is going to have to tell us what movie that is from. So I'm throwing it over to them.
Come on, it's a cult classic. Everybody should know this.
Honestly, I don't. And I hate myself for it. It sounds familiar, but I can't place it. Now, is it cult classic for my generation, or because like I'm old? So.
Well, okay. Look, it's Kurt Russell back in Kurt Russell prime days.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, you gotta go back a little ways for that one.
We're gonna need. We have a request for one more.
Okay, I'll do it one more time. Here you go.
You're out of your mind, Wang. God bless you.
See, Dave's got it.
I always count on Dave to get the niche movie quotes. I appreciate you, Dave.
Yep. Big Trouble in Little China. That's quality stuff right there.
Oh, Scar had it too? Okay.
It's a Stardust Rod. Doing Stardust Rod things.
Stardust Rod is the cheat code for everything in the overworld before you get anything later.
Pretty much.
It's just done.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. Hold on. Nope, it's fine. Yeah, those work just fine too. Using cure potions as offensive weaponry.
Cure
Wait, somebody
3's
call
this
pause and then
early
keep
as
them out
well.
of the
Oh, why you split it? You do. Oh wow, they're punchy though.
Yes, they are. So here's a bad part about this fight. Variable agility is terrible when they roll high, because it's like, oh, I'm got plenty of time. They're slow. I'll get turns, and then they roll on the high side. It's like, why are they so fast?
Yeah, so this might be a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the funny part is, just go and do the fight again. Because if they're slow this time, you're through the fight. Or you could drop battle speed. That works too.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, can you explain how that variable speed works a little bit? Because honestly, I'm in the dark, and I think that's something the audience would love to know too.
The short version is certain spots in the game don't have static agility spots. Baron Inn 2 is one of them. They fluctuate between 4 and 7 agility. So 7 can create a problem, especially when you have a slow black mage as your anchor, which means they're going to get more turns. Versus a 4 where it's like, oh, they're just not going to go at all, and I'm going to kill them before they even see daylight. So just comes down to, what they decide to roll when you find also carrots. Not buying carrots, what a heathen. No vitamins for you, Flossie.
No memeing allowed in tournament races. You gotta go.
So you see these lunars right now? You see how Rosa got an action off immediately, and then they got one turn, but they never saw a second turn? The lunars got slow on this one. So this rolled on the low side of agility. So yay, Rydia will be through this just fine. And sometimes that can, honestly, sometimes it's as simple as this, just to get through the fight. It's like, oh, they're
just giving it a second
reset,
shot
do it
now.
again. Yeah.
Problem is, I'm worried about this particular D-laner because you had to do a Cure 3 plus the Stardust Rod to kill off the other one.
Yeah, so here's the thing. As long as you have to do, Cure 3 direct. There you go. Okay, now you're dead. Because it just...
And it used it, yeah.
Cure 2 direct. If this doesn't kill, you're dead. Oh no! So yeah, it counters everything with fire. So yeah, honestly, probably... So that fight's doable. You throw a Cure 3 on each of them. You just can't kill one faster than the other, because the one that's left standing is going to constantly fire you on everything you do. And that is what is it, 20
Yeah, that's
25%?
I think it's 20 to 25, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't get too many of those before you're dead.
So what, you have 2 Cure 3s, Rosa fires one, Eddie fires the other, and let Stardust Rod just sweep.
And yeah, there's your fight. So yeah, it's a 3-turn fight. Meanwhile, we have Ruby over here at Ordeals 1.
Well, it's the elements, so that's the quarter leg, yeah.
Yeah, spell power? I don't know what spell power is. It's not. In that spot, not scary.
Rydia might have a tougher time, but this is on the Wyvern. Can't Stardust Rod because Palom got zerked up.
Oh,
yeah.
no. Well, I mean, it's only, 1900 HP here? That's not bad.
I don't know. So, flossiefern did the looting in Watery Pass to get that heroin robe, which really powered up the Rosa. Rydia didn't.
Yeah. All right, walls up. We know what comes next. Oh, wee! Delete.
This is one of those auto fights. It's just one of those, okay, well, you start it, and let's see how it finishes.
Yeah. So this actually brings up kind of a valid point. You're noticing Rosa Berserk kind of missing every once in a while. With Sea Hero, you have the ability to, like, you know, move around your anchor. Putting Rosa in the middle for the accuracy boost so that you avoid problems like this missing thing. I mean, it doesn't matter where Palom is.
Yeah, and there's, I think a lot of the early, a lot of the early documentation.
Bow? Oh, that just hurts.
Yeah, it's not fun. There was an archer bow in that basement, though. I don't.
There was.
In the dancing game, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think Flossie's through the turtle now.
Yeah, Flossie will be good.
Yeah. Yeah, Pack Attack Turtle can be a little... I mean, it's not terrible, just because the amount of HP and how the wave works. But it's still, I mean, it's a fast spot. It can cause problems.
So, walk me through here a little bit, and this is something that I know that I've struggled with quite a bit, but Rydia has now bounced off a couple bosses here in this early game. What does that do to a mentality, like to your mindset as a runner? Because I know when I get tilted, I know that just compounds my mistakes later on. So what do you think's going on in Rydia's mind right now?
If I'm bouncing off these, it's very possible my opponent's also bouncing off them. So I wouldn't put too much. You can lose time in the early game, like between looting, whatever it may be. Also, you see Rydia obviously shifting Rosa to spot 1 now, so missing will no longer be a problem. Also, Palom didn't get zerked, so yay. Oh look, Ordeals, nice, Magma, exactly what you want to see. You don't let it bother you. Ugh, that's unpleasant.
Mom Bomb is a very unfortunate there. Ugh.
Yeah, you don't let it bother you that much. You can always make up time on the back end. So you sit there, it's like, oh, I lost a minute or two or whatever. You know, it's like finding Golbez somewhere where you sit through it and you have to play the 50-50 game. Same theory. It's like, you know what? Okay, fine. I lost 2 minutes. I'll make it up by shortening the MacG grind, skip a check, whatever it may be. So nothing to really worry about right now.
One of those situations that, like, everyone's going to have to do it, so I'll just deal with it.
Yeah, you just suck it up and... Yeah, I think it becomes more of a problem late game. Because at that point, it's more of a, you're looking for checks. And if you start bouncing off something and you skip that and it ends up being a check that's required, then it becomes an issue because it's later game bosses. So they're more of a, I guess, a time sink usually to kill them versus the early game. So you can always come back in the early game later. But yeah, Flossie, undergrad, yay!
Hey, love to see that.
It's time for egg. I could go for an omelet right now.
I mean, it's earlier there, but I could also go for an omelet. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, put some sausage crumble and ham in there.
I know we're making chat hungry. you know how bad I feel about that? Not at all.
Zero. Nope. Not at all. So, here's the thing. Do you crack the egg or do you try to fill up your party first? Because to me, like, prioritize getting my party going.
Well, so here's the thing. You look at this party right now. Yes, having Wang would be nice. You probably maybe take a swing at Baronin before you do this. I don't know. But you look at what the egg does for this party. It puts Berserk and Blink on Rosa, and it puts Quack on the kid. Which are kind of the 3 things you need to go burr. I don't know how many sirens we started with, whether it's 1 or 2. I haven't really paid attention to their inventory. If it's 2, you can afford to burn one. If it's 1, honestly, I have problems using sirens in this flag set. Like, I will end up, just kind of bopping along, do my MacG grind. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, look, I still have a siren in my inventory. Huh.
Yeah.
That would have been useful at like the 15-minute mark. My bad. I think you burn it just because of what it gives you and the amount of power it gives you. Because Quake and everything, it makes everything so much easier.
So, can I explain my rationale? Am I thinking right now?
Let's hear it.
Okay. For me, if that Edward was a Cain, a Cecil, a Cid, someone who could wield that ogre axe, I'm with you. I'm doing that now because the amount of power that you get, and then that enables your MacGiant grind a little bit later. Because it's Edward, and because we're still trying to snuff out the rest of our party, I think I go get the Yang. I take a stab at Baron Castle, even, because I think Virus Palom can get us through the rest of the castle as well. Get that 5th party member. If it's someone like Rydia that I can slingshot up later, knock her down, and just roll from there.
Very fair. I mean, okay, let's paint this picture too. If you do the egg, you're setting up a slingshot, but this also is dependent on you getting darkness, like, immediately. Like the freebie and the Fame Arch darkness.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to swing, if it was a darkness crystal in the Fame Arch, I wouldn't even hesitate burning the egg on this party. Because the next 2 characters you pull are both going to get slingshot off the MacGs.
Well, I think this party is even capable of doing most of the, like, if you have Quake Kid fully online, and we already have Wizard, like Hat and Robe for Rosa to help heal up, like, I think that's probably good enough to get you through most of the Underworld, even without, so you can keep people knocked over for as long as it takes to get the darkness.
Unless it's buried somewhere nasty.
Unless it could be buried, yeah.
I don't know about seeing a darkness crystal behind a non-required Leviathan gauntlet. I don't know what we're talking about. That never happened yesterday. Boy, those winners hit hard in that spot.
They really do.
Yep. Yeah. Oh,
Cure 3, use the Cure 3.
I was gonna say, you have a Cure 3, just throw it. No, not on her! I'm gonna blame that on a dropped in, but she meant to push left there.
This is, like, you fully understand why they're doing it, though. Like, it's one of those things, like, until you've had practice enough at these sorts of spots, like, you can understand the logic of why they're doing something.
That's not our gauntlet. We're sad.
Yeah, we're a little sad, but it's only three hits and we're good. Eddie's already queued up. Yeah.
Wait, that was our prize from Baron N. A crystal. Can we just, like, leave it on the stool there? Like, here you go. Somebody else.
I mean, we can sell it for potentially, like, what, half of a black belt?
Yeah, that's fair. That works. Oh, we're not even saving. We're going right in. I like it.
Yeah, I do like it. Have we checked the weapon in shop yet?
Nope.
It's a gated shop. I mean, the main reason you check those gated shops, especially anything that's locked, is black belts and bandanas. Just best gear in the game at this point.
All right, what's on the throne and why is it going to try and kill us in new and creative ways? Ooh,
is that a new and creative way, though? I mean, the evil wall wasn't going to try to kill us here. It was going to try to kill us in the next cutscene.
Yeah.
Hey, Nitsi.
Yeah, by the way, lesson number 3, Baron Throne. So happens to have this thing called MDef.
Yeah, I mean, Palom can get through it, but yeah, Dancing
Yeah.
Dagger, you're probably not.
Yeah, you're not going to do as much damage as you think you would at this spot. So.
And Nitsi is tagging me in something in chat, something, our match from Friday. No, it's okay.
No. Oops.
I've already forgotten that one, man. Like,
That
it's
was
deleted
like
from my
days
hard
ago.
drive.
Yeah. All right, so who do we want to see here? I mean, we've looted so much equipment for like so many people.
I mean, I want to see a Kane, but it's probably going to be a Rydia. Not
Or
duplicate, yeah.
more Wang. That's okay. How many dupes are in this flag set? 3? I think it's 3.
I think it's 3, yeah. So, okay, there's our first dupe.
1 normally, but there's no Tella and no Fu, so yeah, 3. Because, you know, old men need their vacations. Hi, I'm an old man. I need vacation too.
It is the season for vacations.
Yeah,
Just saying.
you're right.
It really is.
Right. All right, what do we want to see out of here? It'd be funny if it was the other half of Forge. Or it could be way worse. So. So, good news, bad news. Good news, we're going to the moon. Why? Because we need a 5th character.
Go to the moon, knock that person over.
Well, maybe. I mean, here, okay, so Yang can kind of do MacGiant on his own. Like, usually it's 2 power punches in your turn. So, if he's got
We have a Thunderclaw.
Yeah. So, which Mylon is this?
This is the friendly Mylon.
So, you see that? It's like, oh, that's not bad. They just drain, right? You ever been hit with a counter lit 1 at that spot before? Boy, those hurt.
Yeah, they do hurt. It's like 300 to 400 regularly.
Yeah, it tickles. Like, oh, it's a free fight. Not exactly. That's fine, though. We know what's there. We come back with, like, you know, this thing called Meteo, and we just let it fly. It's great.
So here's the interesting thing. Rydia has not done Mount Ordeals. So it does not have the Magma Key, does not know that there's an egg grind real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just wants the character at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at some point, yeah, you're going to go do Ordeals. Well, I mean, you might not. To be fair, if you find the hook, because it's an objective, you may just say the heck with Ordeals. Like, if there's no Cecil, what do you care? It's a faster way to get underground, yeah. But, you know, Rydia, you know, goes and does MacGiant, and then, I don't know, goes to the moon, messes around on the moon, finds the hook. Maybe finds an Earth crystal while they're up there. All of a sudden, it's like, well, I don't need a Magma Key, even though you know where the Magma Key is. It's either behind the Twin Harp or it's up on Ordeals.
Which
Maybe
do you
just
check if
maybe
you're
just
doing that?
I don't know. Difficult decisions.
All right, here's our character. Drum roll. Can we get something nicer than a? Oh,
Never mind, you're doing Ordeals.
I think this is pushing you toward. Although I will say that generally speaking, Cecil is less powerful. I'm not obligated to do Ordeals. Like I'm fine ditching him in this flag zone.
I am. You know why? One very specific reason. And you actually kind of nailed it. You're like, oh, he's not, you know, great in this. He's great in this flag set for one very exact reason. He is a heck of a cover tank. And boy, does he excel on doing that in MacGiant. If you gear him up well, you're not taking damage, and yeah, you don't have to worry about silly things like blink and all that other jazz. No, you just gear him up with armor, throw him in the back row, go mess around on a damage tile, get everyone a 1 HP, heal up Cecil, and he can tank MacGiant until you're done. So, I like it. And it's a slingshot.
I was gonna say, to that point, like, you slingshot him if you haven't already knocked over. I mean, I guess everyone else has levels already, but
I have tanked MacGiant with a level 1 Cecil before. He's fine. He's fine. As long as he got the armor for him, he's fine. Notice the important part, though. As long as he has the armor, that's important.
yeah. I don't know if we have, like, I haven't seen any sort of crystal armor other than that crystal shield that we.
You can get away with, like, Dragoon armor. Like, Dragoon and, you know, good hat,
Even-
good gauntlet, good shield.
Even
like,
then, I mean, if we have blink, that'll cover
well,
for it.
yeah. But, I mean, even without it, it's like, okay, so you're taking 100, 150 damage in the back row. It's like, okay, that's nothing a Cure 2 potion can't fix every once in a while. So yeah, I think that's the route we go with this. You probably use the egg, because the important thing here is Yang needs levels. Like, you've got
he needs to be able to do punch.
for probably at least $4,000, I would say. Yeah, see, diamond armor. Like, diamond armor, samurai shield, a hat, and a gauntlet. That would probably be enough for Cecil. I think he'd be all right. But yeah, 2 power punches and get out. You know, set up your party order where Palom, you know, if you're concerned, set up your order where Palom can cast Stop on the MacG.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
do it that
that'll
way.
do it.
Yeah. So, depending on who you sling. I mean, I know what an egg is going to do. I don't know if you have access to a second slingshot on this. I'll have to look at, like...
I don't really think you do.
It might get complicated. I mean, okay, to be fair, and I know chat's going to laugh at me for this, you could just off Edward and sling him and just hope you get a spoon. Like, I don't know.
So you off him and Cecil, go crack an egg, and then you go do your grind, and then let him reap the benefits.
Yeah. Like, okay, sure, whatever. I mean, look, you might find the spoon. It's possible.
How
maybe.
long do you hang on to a slung Edward, though? Like,
Well,
realistic.
okay,
Say you get
okay.
an edge in Dwarf Castle immediately
yeah,
after.
and that's what might drive you to do. Okay, so I'm trying to think how I mean, you have Baron Basement, but you also have Murn. It's one of those weird routing things where it's like, okay, so you do your MacG, now you have levels, you have power, right? So what do you go do? You have an objective on the Earth, but you also have an objective on the Moon that doesn't require you diving the Moon to get to. So you could go to the Moon, do Mura, leave, come back to Earth, and full clear Earth. And that might be better just because you're going, if you're of the mindset that, oh, Edward needs to go away, get the character out of Dwarf, and then you can basically, they're in perma-slingshot while you're on the Moon doing things after you clear Earth. Maybe that's 5? I don't know. But
So,
you'll probably be at 10 key items too when you go to the Moon. So they'll catch up in levels in, I don't know, 2 fights, maybe 3.
I'll say this: chat is giving you a rash of something for calling you a little bit out there for that. But I'm gonna say, Martin's probably like, I'm gonna call him one of the top 5 runners in the community. So I'm gonna listen to him over you, chat. Sorry.
You hear that? Top 5. I'll give you a hint though, only the top 3 get on the podium. If anyone's ever played Excite Bike, I'm like number 4. I'm that guy all the way off to the right just waving. Like, hi! This is me all the way over here.
I mean, I call a lot of people top 5, probably like 15 people top 5, but that's, that's just me.
Okay, so we have a Sparkle. We know the other Mylon in there, so that's good. We're not really killing anything there. Like, the only thing remotely killable in there would be exactly Plague on the left. And even then, that's going to take a little creativity to do, so...
I mean, the Mylon Z fight is interesting because we do have a cover Cecil.
You do, yeah.
And if you have something that can block out undead attacks,
give him a wizard hat.
Yeah, something like that. That's all you need.
But it's also not an objective, and yeah. So, We are setting up Sheila 1 though. I'm amazed how many people fade Sheila 1 in this flag set.
Why Sheila 1? Because we got the pan.
I'm also amazed at how many people get burned by it too.
Yeah. I mean, the wisdom used to be do your freebies, and then it became do your objectives, and now it's just YOLO.
Well, it's do your freebies asterisk. What's the asterisk mean? Well, it's the fine print. What's the fine print? Whatever I want it to be. That's a functionally useful item.
Yeah, I'm not at that.
Yep. Pieces of paper, valuable. That's actually a good find because this is going to give you time to think about your routing now. Now your end game is wherever you want it to be. So, Mura could be your last objective.
That's part of the problem, though, isn't it? That's analysis to paralysis. Like, I can do anything I want now.
Yeah,
which
but
means,
well, you also have so much time to think about it now. It's like you're turning in the pan, you're going to go check the character on it, go do your MacG, da-da-da-da. It's like you have 15 minutes now to think about, all right, how do I want to finish this seed? What's my end game? Come up with a plan and then just do it. And don't change your mind.
I'm honestly very surprised that we haven't seen a MacGiant grind yet.
So I'm of a mind, I take the first 5 I find and go, and I just make it work.
Yeah.
You look at this party, I mean, short of Edward, which, I mean, okay, I can find a use for Edward. Whether it's in the front row being a human blink target, whatever it may be. The other 4 are the important ones right now. Like, Cecil Yang. Yeah, Cecil Yang. I mean, obviously our anchor is a black mage, but I'll get over it. And Rosa. It's like, okay, so you have dual Zerg set up for Z if you want it. You don't have to get cute with, I need to go find this character, whatever it may be. You can take this party and run. And like you said, you're surprised that no one's done a MacG. It does lose its value the longer you go without it.
It's true. If we're at 40 minutes in, this is getting to be not late, but it's past the edge where it's really, yeah.
You're kind of in that window. It's like you do this, you end at 50-ish, roughly. And then you just go start, banging out objectives. But you get anything past this, and it's like, well, mate, now you're being greedy. Now it's like, I don't want Edward, I want a different character. Well, what happens when Dwarf is a Dupiang? Again. Well, there goes that time. And then maybe you go do something else. It's like,
When there isn't a MacGiant grind, one of the things that I always keep a lookout for is, that heroine robe, plus a ninja hat on Rosa, if you set up your agility right, you can do a door grind. Not overly difficult with that Rosa right now. As soon as you get it,
I would say you do need this thing called wall, though. Wall is...
you gotta get there,
Yeah. I've seen people try to do door grinds without wall. It usually ends up very tragically.
That's level, 42 or something for Rosa,
no,
too?
wall for Rosa's early. It's like mid-30s.
Okay.
Yeah, she gets it early. She gets it before Cure 4. Yeah. Porom, on
34.
the other hand, Porom just doesn't learn anything ever. so don't worry about that.
If you have a Porom, just like commit yourself to a giant grind. It's gonna happen.
If you have a Porom, just commit yourself that you need to sling her. Otherwise, she's never going to learn anything. Yeah. Now, I know it's been a while since I've done comms, but I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be quiet for this whole music thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think Dubward would be upset with this. So we'll be quiet for a little bit. Have fun, folks.
Enjoy the music, whatever it may be, even if it's Tetris.
All right, so we are through that music. Unfortunately, our Cecil is gaining levels, so
yeah,
we have.
It was 11 levels. Wow, the value.
So, I mean, is that have we found a decent white mage item yet, though? So, you know what I mean.
I was gonna say, I think the other thing about that fight, and I would honestly have to test this in science. That fight usually has ridiculous MDef, so you notice no one ever really casts spells there. There are certain fights that MDef works very weird. I don't know how the dolls play in that fight. I think the back dolls are basically more or less fully immune, and the front dolls are the ones that can get blasted with spells. But don't quote me on that, because I don't know. It's science. You have to try it, and then when you fail, and yeah. As Scythe is saying, both are 112 MDef. So yeah, so yeah, spell-wise, you could get through that fight with Quack or something and be fine.
RydiaCaller, meanwhile, over here is this is going to be rough. First of all, that. Second of all, trying to knock over Palom for a slingshot when Palom is your hero.
Yeah, that doesn't work. It's a nice thought, though.
We appreciate the effort there. You need.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of your stop/Quake caster for the eggs, so he's kind of an important character. Here's something else that we haven't considered. We can always ask Flossie about this after the race too. Look at their key item count.
Yeah,
She's
8
at
for
8.
Flossie.
Yeah, she's at 8 right now. Also, nice use of Medusa arrows there. Well done. I personally, I'm not a fan of holding off till you're at 10. Once again, we're back to the whole losing value the longer it goes on thing.
I tend to agree.
Yeah, so trying to get to 10 to cut your grind time in half. At what price? So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. Also, I apologize if this is a dupe yang in here. I swear that was not my intent.
You're lying. You know it was.
No. If it's dupe Edward, I'm not going to be sorry at all. Also, I think Flossie is about 3 seconds away from being dead. Yep.
Just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting that Palom knocked over is real rough.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I call that the baby Ogopogo spot because it's about a third of what Ogopogo's location can do. But usually you have about 3 times as many levels by the time you get to Ogopogo, which means this spot still really hurts, depending on what's there. And it's on both sides, both physical and magic. So yeah, Odin's gonna hit hard, and Zantetsuken is a death sentence. So... I like it. Baron in, $50 a night, every night. I love the Motel 6.
Nice and
So
cheap.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, other than instances where, bad things happen at a Motel 6.
Okay, look, just don't bring a blacklight and you'll be fine, okay?
Let me tell you about what happened to me
wear
this
shoes in the
December.
room. Oh, encounters on. I think we know what.
Oh, I
is.
wonder what we're doing, Rydia.
I think it's time. I don't have my chart open, but I do know a couple of the squares.
That was 5. Yeah, that's
I think 5. I think 5 is bad. I'm a fan of. I believe it's 46 and 56 are the ones I like.
Know what the ones?
Yeah, there's zeros.
I've not gotten a 0. I've gotten a couple 1s and 2s, but I've gotten mostly like 5s this tournament.
5 suck because you're never sitting through 5 fights. Oh, by the way, for anybody wondering what the heck we're talking about, so
that's fair. Yeah.
The short version is, once upon a time, very long time ago, there was this way to manipulate certain fights of appearing, and they were great XP fights. Neat. Okay, that's fun. So then they tried to take it away from us by basically making, encounters where you couldn't run from them. So the community had to get, brainstorm, come up with a better way of manipulating fights. Thus gave birth to this. So now we can manipulate fights outside of Baron to get certain fights on the Giant that we want for ridiculous amounts of XP. So that's kind of what we're doing right now, is we're looking for specific squares to figure out how many fights we have to get rid of in order to get the MacG fight that we want. And that chart is widely available on the Free Enterprise Discord, along with many other charts for all sorts of other interesting grinds. I think that was a 6. Is that a 6?
I think so.
Okay, that was a 6. That means we're burning 2.
So I do have a legitimate question about the chart and doing this grind and doing the setup, because I have set this up not outside Baron, but outside of Ordeals. Yeah, but it's always worked. That's the problem. Like, what is the importance of setting up outside Baron?
90% of the time it works. It is a different step count outside of, like, I don't know, Mysidia. Most of the encounters work, some don't. So the chart was made specifically for Baron. There is other ways of doing it for like Mysidia. Because I believe it's one more offset on Mysidia. So something weird like that. But yeah, just do it at Baron.
Just do it at Baron.
Just do it. Please do it at Baron. Don't be like me. There you go. Yes,
Ignore my last tournament race where I set it up outside of
Dusty before because I spaced on it. It's like, oh, I'll just manipulate outside Mysidia. Yeah, about that. Oops. Meanwhile, I completely missed it, but looking at Flossy Tracker, I'm going to say that was a Luca key coming out of Dwarf.
That appears to be so, yes.
Which is an objective. Which is good. But I still see an Edward. Which means the character wasn't good.
It was a dupe Rosa, is what it was.
Oh, okay. Well, oh no. That's sad.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
That being said, we have our first official giant grind here going on RydiaCaller side.
Jeez.
No slingshots, unfortunately, but you deal the hand you're dealt.
I mean, you look at this party, it's like, okay, could you take the kid and nuke with this? Sure, it's going to take a minute. But, I mean, you have a functional Wang and Cecil and Rose, like those three combined. Like, if you just wanted to do enough to get them online, you could cut this short. So, we'll see as this goes on how long this is going to take.
See, in this situation, I generally try to cut it like a few short, knowing that if I'm going to full clear the moon, that's going to get me a boatload of experience as well.
Mm-hmm.
Half of which might be doubled because of my item count. Yep. At which point, hopefully, Palom will have nuked by then.
Yeah, you just need enough power to get through. Like, and the thing is too, like you said, look at the objectives. It's not like you have complete the Giant of Babel or the Masa Altar or things like that. Like, these are all pretty straightforward, kind of lower power locations. So yeah, is it nice to have nuke on the kid? Yeah, absolutely. Do you need it? It's useful, but you get over it.
You know what? You can hybrid it and use Lit 3. Perfectly acceptable. I've done it many times.
Sure. So yeah, short version of this. MacG is 80, I want to say 8,500 HP? Something like that. 31,000 experience apiece. Life glitch them, they're 62,000. Wash, rinse, repeat to a number that makes you happy, and away we go.
Yeah, and we have a back road cover Cecil, who doesn't even need to blink, honestly.
No. Like I said, as long as he's got armor, he's fine. Like, you're not worried. Let's see what this power punch from Wang is. I'm guessing 4 grand based on the HP total I'm seeing. Oh, that was light.
Ooh, that was real low.
Okay. I mean, but you're still getting through. And then once you life up Yang here, now Cecil's in cover mode on him, so you're fine.
Are those charm arrows on our Vosa as well?
Yeah. I think they're charm or lit, one of the two. MacG's don't like either. Meanwhile, Flossy's setting up for her MacG grind.
Yeah, and chat brings up a good point. You already have the Luca key, and you know that Sealed Cave is objective.
Yeah.
Doesn't it make sense to just check that? To just do it.
Yep. Sure does. I mean, you think of the 3 bosses that we've seen so far. Yeah, Dimps are out of the pool. Yeah, Water Hag's out of the pool. There's still bosses that you can kill down there, even though that spot is a little bit rude.
I've always felt like the HP is relatively low. Like, you can get through it.
Oh yeah, it's like 18,000 flat down there. So it's not bad. It's just the speed of the spot is what usually gets most people.
Yeah.
So, which, I mean, I hate to say it, but hey, guess what? This is Sea Hero. You don't get a curse ring. Learn to deal with the speed, because it's going to bite you more times than I like to admit. You're gonna run into problems. You gotta learn to navigate them. Also,
Meanwhile,
I like Rydia's keep Edward dead.
yeah, don't even bother. Oh well.
No, I mean, I like I said, I've played a few of these. I've done 3-person MacG grinds. Like, you know, you don't want characters in the way. If you have a good turn order going, I don't want Edward up ruining it. No, go away.
No,
I'll
not at
revive
all.
you at the end. Fine. So same thing with like slingable characters. You know, if you're gonna sling someone, chances are they're base level and they have terrible agility, which means they're gonna jump your turn order at some point during this. That's probably going to cause you a problem. So just kill them off and bring them back later. It's fine. Just don't forget to bring them back.
They don't have to be alive the whole fight, just the end
No,
of the fight.
just for the important parts, like the end.
While we have dueling grinds, and I love the mirrored, I think, yeah, the parties are exactly mirrored as well at this point.
That's actually kind of cool. Except for the part where both Edwards are alive, but that's okay. You know,
well, yeah, that's
yeah,
we'll be all right.
it's
Do want to give a shout out to all of the members in the community who are helping putting this this tournament on. Shout out to all of them, our folks behind the scenes, Dubwords with the tracking, and of course Enjide for the restream. And also, you know, my co-commentator, Martin. This has been probably like one of my most fun broadcasts I've done in a long, long time. This has been a blast.
I mean, we've kind of covered a lot of it. We covered food. We covered good movie.
Absolutely.
I've been good. I'm brought up tequila once.
Well, that's because it's only just now noon at your place. But it is
true.
afternoon, by the way.
That
so
is,
if you'd
that
like.
is true. Okay, I lied. We were talking about tequila sunrises before the stream started. So that I got it out of my system, so we're fine.
That said, if you'd like to join us behind the scenes, we are looking for volunteers to help join our restream team for commentators, trackers, restreamers, the whole shebang. Go ahead and join us over on our Discord. Just ping an admin, say, hey, I would like to volunteer, and we'll get you hooked up. We'd love to have many more people join us in the shenanigans that we participate in.
Yep. Also, if you have any special requests or anything, any allergies, you know, please don't put me in a booth with Martin, you know, things like that. Make sure to specify those when you're, you know, applying to do these. Very important. We will accommodate you. Except for the whole putting in booth with me thing. That you can't get around. I'm sorry.
Yes, XenoCat does make a good point. Make sure to read all of our resources and guides. We do, you know, we pretend to have a professional organization here. We've been doing this for what, 5-6 years now total. So
hey, we fake it really well, don't we?
There are processes in place. They're just because they're all on shared Google Docs doesn't mean they're not good processes.
I still remember my first comms experience. One of the admins came in was like, now Martin, you've read the rules, right? I'm like, yeah, of course I did. Don't read the rules. Don't be me, folks. Read the rules.
Please read the rules.
Yeah, please.
I even made a slick PowerPoint for the whole thing. Like, please.
Wait, is there a flowchart in it?
I don't think there's a flowchart.
Oh, there should be a flowchart. How great would that be? Are you on comms? Yes. Okay, go with this bubble. Okay. Have you said this? Yes. You shouldn't say this. Go back 2 bubbles.
That's really what it boils down to. Did you say this? Yes. Wrist slap. Newspaper.
That'd be great. I mean, come on, what would people rather read? A 10-page rule document or one flowchart that summarizes it all? I'm team flowchart. I'm just putting that out there.
So were you responsible for flowchartness, or is that a flurry
No, that
thing?
was before my time.
Okay.
And I still laugh every time I see that flowchart.
Before your time. I keep on forgetting we have a bunch of feet. Yeah, I'm old. I've been here for a while. Fred recruited me to Free Enterprise.
I've been around for a minute, but I didn't enter a tournament until Fabul. So, like, I was around for World Series of Free Enterprise and everything like that. I just didn't. Like, I just played for fun back then.
I'm going to pull out my old man cane here. It's like, I remember a time back before there were objectives and you just found the crystal randomly. And sometimes the gold code was found in 5 minutes.
I was waiting for you to read off flag screens where it's like, yeah,
no.
A3, H2, T5, Q, B. Yeah, those were flag screens.
Yeah, those were flag strings. The grind is going well. I've lost count, by the way, for both of them.
Well, to be fair, even if we're runners, we still lose count. So, you know, it's fine. Little known trick. If you're using a trigger for the grind, just count the triggers. I like Thor rages. So it's like, okay, well, how many Thor rages did I start with? 10. Cool. Am I out? Yes, that means I've done 10.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I try to count life potions, and then when I whiff a life potion, it messes me up, and I'm done.
Oh, we're done. 700,000 experience. That's a number.
Oh, there. Yep.
Very nice.
All the way to white.
That means I gotta do math. I feel like that was 11 by 11. Yeah.
No
right.
nuke on Palom, though.
660 plus the eyeball? Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, no, you're short. 660 plus what he had? Yeah, he's 49, so he's close enough.
He'll get it. He will get it.
Will. Now, the sad part is, I would love one more level on Palom, though. Because that gets you Meteo.
For Meteo?
Yeah, and Meteo works really good against what's in Barren Basement, let me tell you.
What was in Barren Basement? I already forgot.
Mylon and Friends.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we get to teach people about how ticks work and why Meteo is slow until it's not.
Looks like Rydia is setting up to go immediately back to the moon.
I like it. I like it. Mur is up there. So then the decision has to be made. Do you stick around on the moon or... yeah. That's tough. You play enough of these, you find seeds where literally there's nothing on the moon. And then you find seeds where 4 objectives are on the moon.
There we go. Sorry. So the question I have for that is, because you've already done a grind, does that heavily incentivize just clearing the moon out since you're already up there? Especially since you have the pass? Or does it not matter?
I think part of it is probably trying to read your opponent. And that, you know, there's a lot of, hey, do some research on your opponent, find out what their tendencies are, and kind of run with it. part of it is also the objectives. Like, you look at the objectives, and, like, all of these are on Earth, which means Earth is your end game. Of course, Antlions on the moon, because why wouldn't it be? If your end game is on Earth, then you're not getting the 6 objectives on Earth. Like, unless you have like an Omega chain down there that leads to, like, every item you need. Something should be up here.
I mean, you have 2 objectives. Okay, Flossiefern has 2 objectives. She has Luca Key and the Barren Basement. RydiaCaller only has 1.
Yeah. Now, her, on the other hand, I'm on Earth. I'm clearing out Barren Basement and Luca immediately. Because if those transform into something, then yeah, Mura is probably my end game, and then I'm done. Which is exactly what she's doing. So, good for her.
That feels right.
Yeah,
right now.
Because this is K-Main Summon Moon, so, like, everything can hit here. So, you are definitely...
Yeah, I like what both of these runners have done with the knowledge that they end up having.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fire brings up going to feel bad if this is a KI, honestly. Yes and no. I feel bad if it's a KI. I feel better depending on what boss is down here. So it's kind of a half and half.
I mean, let's see. I mean, we have our Warpcaster. We've gotten everything at this point, so...
I think flat out, like, this spot has a ton of magic power. So things down here you didn't want to see at an early level. You don't want to see Mega Sisters. You don't want to see Ruby. Honestly, even Leviathan is nasty, because those Ice 2s just start deleting people left and right. So yeah, any magic caster down here probably would have presented a problem for an earlier game party.
There's Medio on RydiaCaller's side, and
okay, so
just a Lunar Staff. Hey, are we gonna go get that edge now?
That's a double. I don't know. I mean, is it better than Edward? Yeah. But you know what's gonna happen, and this always happens. Also, that is disgusting.
This is horrible. This is worst case scenario.
You feel infinitely better about not coming down here. This spot at like level 25 with her standing in your way, that's an automatic reset. There's no way you get through her.
This is a little bit rough, yeah.
Yeah.
Luck, I mean, she whipped a week, so that's nice.
Okay, so Murrah's a double. I guess to Rydia's point right now, this may end up just being, hey, grab Edge, and he's going to get slingshot off the entire moon. We may go straight back to the moon after this.
Yeah, Quake is not... Oh,
No,
and Flossie takes...
nothing.
That's a heartbreaking reset right there.
Yeah, nothing gets through that spot. I mean, the thing is, can you get through it? Yeah, you can.
This is where you kind of have to set Cecil up for cover strats and let someone else throw cures to just keep them up.
Yeah.
That being said, gosh, I didn't see. Did Rydia actually pick up the edge?
I would hope so. I mean, at least he can throw darts.
Yeah, okay.
Unfortunately, we still haven't figured out a way to throw characters, because, boy, I would love to dart Edward every once in a while.
I mean, double long is perfectly fine. We have a ninja shirt as well.
Yeah, we're good.
Calling it right now. I'm using my witchy powers one more time. Baron basement will have the spoon. Now that we just ditched Edward.
Well, yeah, that's how it always works. Then you're like, oh man, do I have to go get Edward again? You're like, no. The spoon is the dart. He's just, God, he's really good with the spoon now.
He is so, I mean, he is just
And
impossibly good.
He's a glass cannon, but he's really good at it. Like, yeah.
Oh, and Rydia has kind of ditched all of the possible caster gear for Rosa. So Rosa's primarily only set up to be a Zerker.
I mean, that's not a bad thing. Okay, come on.
Yeah, it's worse.
Media.
Why are we wasting time doing anything but
Media. Well, you still have to do some damage on Milo. Meteor's not going to kill Milo. It's just start the white spear. Kane never exists. That's fine.
Yeah, Kane is written off at this point.
Yeah. Who cares about Kane? I know there's probably some Kane fans out there. I don't care. No, not Burberry. Ah. So sad.
Yeah, Lukaki Blues was located in Dwarf Castle.
Dwarf. Yeah. Which, honestly, now that Rydia has Edge, Dwarf is probably a fade. Like, you're not doing Dwarf.
No. Now, knowing that it's just a silent staff, so it's still kind of a dead end, doesn't... Yeah, I mean, it's a very different kind of race right now, but this is the kind of race that I love to see, where there's divergence and runners can get different objectives done.
Mm-hmm. All right, the payoff. That's kind of a payoff.
Another objective.
That's kind of a payoff. That's a pair of doubles we've seen now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, do your objectives.
Do your
objectives.
objectives.
I don't think that can be made into a... Well, yeah, anything can be made into a flowchart. Are you doing an objective? No. Go do your objective. Are you doing an objective? Yes. Congratulations. Go do another one.
So 4 objectives done on RydiaCaller's side. Right now, just 1, although the second one is being done right now by flossiefern.
Mm-hmm. All right, hour 15 in. Are you opening the treasury?
No.
But you could get an Avenger out of it.
But, yeah, no.
See?
No!
Greed. Greed is good.
Yes, my inner loot goblin wants to loot it. Look, I'm already fighting the voice in the back of my head not to loot more.
Watch there be a Masa in here.
Right,
like
looking for gear. Lightsaber, Artemis bow.
Dart. That's nice. That actually is really nice for one reason we'll cover later. Okay. Oh, it's a dart. Okay, well, honestly...
We got some darts.
That crystal ring was the most important part of that treasury. Yeah. Well, lesson to everyone that, plays the game. Would you like to know what Palom's agility is when he acquires Nuke? It's 23. You know what a crystal ring brings him up to?
Plus
Exactly
5
where he
agility.
needs to be.
That's you know what? Good game knowledge, because that's
Yeah.
something that's like easy to remember. I get to Nuke, I put a crystal ring, I'm set. Boom.
Yep. This place that you need to learn a lot about agility breaks and where people hit certain markers at. You know, understanding that Rydia at Nuke is at 25, so a ninja hat fixes her. Same thing with Rosa. You know, Cecil, where's his breakpoint for 33 agility, where a Drain Sword or a Dwarf Axe fixes his problem. There's no hope for Edward. Edward just figure it out. If it's an
Just
Edward
good luck.
hero, good luck. Like, everyone's got conditions.
Hope for Zerker so you can just ignore it.
Exactly.
So Flossie does get through.
Yay!
So this race I think is going to come down, because from here I don't know if Flossie stays on the blue planet.
I mean, you have to do Barren Basement.
You're going to do Barren Basement, and that's going to lead to the Earth Crystal, so
Yep.
it's going to be just slightly behind RydiaCaller. It's all going to depend on whether Rydia finds the... Let me see, we're looking for the hook.
Other half of Forge or the hook.
Yeah, the other half,
Which-
it stumbles across it,
Yeah.
or... Yeah.
Or, you know, one of those could just pop up from this and, well, you know, hey. Hey, speaking of Rydia,
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah, we think at this point Flossie will stumble into go mode once
Mhm,
she does all of her objectives. It's just a
mhm.
matter of when RydiaCaller ends up finding her go mode.
Yep. Now, you know what the bad part about that is? When Flossie stumbles into go mode, not going to have Nuke, not going to have a lot of things. So the Z fight, there's going to be a different Z fight for Flossie than you're going to see on RydiaCaller.
Probably more of a hybrid
Yeah.
than... Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they're both probably going to be hybrid, honestly.
One will have Nuke and White, one will not.
Well, that's an unfriendly face to see.
I mean, at least you healed prior to it. Because, you know, no one ever does these bosses, or, you know, the Flame Dog at 1 HP. You know, that never turns out well. I don't know who would do that, ever. As I side-eye chat, just waiting.
I assume there's history there that I'm unfamiliar
boy,
with.
is there. And I call it out every chance I get.
All right, that Ogo went down like a chump.
I hope this is the spoon.
We want the spoon just to kind of wag it in their faces, right? Is that the goal?
Well, here's the thing. If it's a spoon, Flossie ends up in a lot better condition.
True.
Because Flossie's not taking that edge.
Probably not. No.
So, that's not a spoon. That's sad.
So where do we go from here? 5 objectives down. Do you just say, hey, it's time to go to the moon? The only thing you faded here...
No, we're doing something we think our opponent's not going to do. We're going to do the Twin Harp.
But we've already done it. It's interesting that you do the twin... I mean, I guess if you're one objective away,
Okay,
you go
we're
ahead and
not
do the
doing
Earth
the Twin
Crystal instead of combo.
Wait, what are we doing? We're shopping. What are we looking for? Actually, wait a minute. That's a good shop if you're going to do the Twin Harp. Hold on. Kamikazes were there.
That would be nice with the levels that we have.
Yeah. See? Yeah.
RydiaCaller heard you from the
Yeah.
past.
Well done. Well, we know Twin Harp is dead. Oh, God. So you have this amount of power, right? Objective-wise, you do this. What are you left with on Earth? You're left with the March, Keyless Tower, and Dwarf versus Bahamut and the entire lower moon.
Yeah, that's rough.
Well, there's walk time involved on the moon. Like, you got to spend a minute walking down to Ribbon and everything down there. You're on Earth. If you hit, turning in the objective is on Earth. You have a pass in your hand. From a purely time standpoint, you probably stay on Earth.
Knowing that you only have to hit one of two.
Yeah.
I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Seeing something interesting, Flossie did a quarter of treasury. She was like, I want a sword for Cecil and that's it. And she got a lightsaber, so.
Wait, did she grab the crystal ring or no? I mean, it's honestly probably not gonna matter, but
she didn't though. She just missed it.
Yeah. Yeah, for her, when this is all said and done, she's gonna have probably a 21 or 20 agility Palom, which means we're just turning Zerk loose on everybody and then playing the heal game with Rosa. Or maybe we do experience on the moon. I don't know. There's spots you could turn on encounters on the moon. You could even do behemoths.
Open some chests. Open a couple chests, call it good.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're trying to get a sword. Nice job, Rydia. I don't know if they knew that or that was experimental, but I'm here for it.
You just crushed it.
I wonder if Quake's actually going to work here. Oh, look at that. It did. Yay.
And the insta reset. I love being able to do that.
That's fair, except for the part where, wait a minute, you didn't save outside of,
Oh, no.
How far back did we just go?
That's
not, okay, you have to redo Earth, but after that it was right up to...
Yeah, that's it, that's it. So you do have to redo Earth.
Yeah. I mean, you don't, well, okay, you do, but you don't think about it. It's just, it's habit. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to reset out of... And for the most part, you usually save outside of Toroya when you do it. Just habit. It happens.
This is, it does happen.
Yeah.
And it hurts. Oh! Flossie saying, hey, I will take a second white mage over my Eddie.
Okay.
So that's, I guarantee you that's just a play to get another Zerk caster. She's planning on Zerking everyone out.
Yeah. It's not about, I mean, looking at it, like this party, that is her Z fight. Like, it's going to be 2 Zerkers and keep them healed up. So, getting those 2 online ASAP. No, that makes sense.
Still have to do Mura. Gonna be kind of close with that Rosa, like a high roll Big Bang. If you're planning on just eating the Big Bangs, that might be close.
Yeah, could cause issues. I don't know, maybe we'll see her grab some other form of experience on the moon. I mean, there is, just throwing this out there, there is 1 box on the way to the Myrrh altar. Maybe
might be worth
it and
spiking
hope it's
it, yeah.
chest. You know, yeah, hey. Until it's exactly Bimmy and Jimmy, and then you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't open this box. Whoops.
With that, Flossie finishes Tower of Zot, and will I got to imagine you go immediately and say, let's do this Myrrh altar, and that will lead to the Sand Ruby.
I mean, obviously we know that she doesn't, so that may have been part of the play on Polrom, was, okay, I'm going to go do Myrrh, it's probably not going to be an objective, I'll go do Ribbon, get my experience on Polrom, that probably will give me go mode. Boy, won't she be surprised. In about 5 minutes from now, it's like, oh, wait a minute. I'm ready to go right now. Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, Rydia, not doing the underground, is saying, let's do the moon.
All right.
It's density. I can appreciate it.
Okay, so if you're looking for one, Bahamut's on the table immediately. I don't think you're walking all the way down to do Ribbon just because of quantity. Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to hit it here and be done. Now, here's a fun one though. What if this is the tower key?
Man, that's
is that
rough.
enough to send you back? Where it's like, okay, now I have 5 on Earth I could do.
If I'm in a spot that I can just get back quick, and I haven't already committed to the walk, I think so.
Yeah, would that be enough to get you off the moon and be like, you know what, I'm going to go do full tower and... Okay, that Leviathan isn't terrible. That's pretty straightforward. Nice thing about this spot, ton of physical punching power, no magic at all. Leviathan did not go the Ogopogo school on how to actually hit things. This has been good. This has been a good race. Narrow cat. Flossie still needs levels for Z? Nah. It's doable. Time consuming, but doable. A big stick wouldn't hurt. Which usually you get with experience though, but you know, hey.
Lightsaber is fine in terms of a big stick. The biggest thing I'm worried about right now for flossiefern is running into a wombo combo on Z.
With the amount of damage she's gonna put out? No. You ain't gotta worry about that at all. Like, she's, with this, maybe 4,000 to 5,000 around. Like, this is going to be like, you're going to see big bangs, black holes. Like, you're going to see a lot of it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not a great DPS setup, especially without nuke or white supplementing it. This is just keep Yang and Cecil alive. And preferably berserked.
And hope for
or you
not
can
a high
just find the rock, and now things get interesting.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Well. Cool, we're going forge shopping. Any bets on Sirens being in the forge? I'm going to say yes.
All right, so what else is going to be in the port shop? We have sirens. What else is going to be there?
Crap.
Sirens and crap. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to say at least 2 armors that are worthless.
Ooh,
but
okay.
I'm gonna guess hourglasses and I want to see a life staff there.
Okay. Okay. I mean, reset out of a silent staff, so a life staff would be kind of funny. I'll take it. Okay, but the most important question isn't what's in the shop. Are we robbing the old man?
Are we rough? Is
What?
that really?
Yes! Look, the item is literally right there. Matter of fact, right where that cursor is on the screen. Yeah, just go touch that shelf. Just go there. Just go there. Just go properly. Just click. Ah, we're not robbing the old man.
Robin.
Sad. Okay. Well, I mean, you have edge. Like, those swords are nice.
So we're gonna have 2 different sets of objectives done pretty close to one another. RydiaCaller with a little bit of an edge here.
Yeah.
But they are
bounce
going to go.
apart.
This is all going to come down to how clean the Z fight is, honestly.
Yeah. Sell the farm. Sell the farm. Buy a pair of swords. Yeah, don't sell the catclaw though. There you go.
And Flossie, unfortunately, still has Eddie. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Possum Morpheus does make a good point. The Murasames have -5 agility.
Yep.
So
Also, Flossie teaching a valuable lesson. You gotta put the arrows on to activate the bow. Yeah. The arrows. Gotta put arrows on. Gotta put arrows on.
yeah, it's just 20 agility. Got it.
Put the arrows on.
You can't just have a naked bow.
I know you can't hear me from 10 minutes in the future, but put the arrows on.
So we have Rydia flying over. We have Flossie swagging over.
Yep.
We're going to have almost simultaneous Z fight starts. This is going to be amazing.
Wait, did Rydia set? Wait a minute. Did Rydia set up for this?
I don't think she did. She might be setting up now.
Yeah, crystal ring on tap. Oh, we're just gonna run it.
This is you're at 135. Okay. You have seen multiple races finish at like 115, 120 in this tournament. You feel behind. I think that's what both of these runners are feeling.
This has been because of the double, and no, I'm not talking about in and out. Double objectives with double objectives. Pretty straightforward scene, I would say, and having access to all 6 in a fairly timely manner. Now you start thinking, at least from Rydia's standpoint, those couple wipes. Same thing with Flossie, bouncing off of Luca a couple times. That starts weighing on you. Like, okay, this is gonna get really strange.
Simultaneous Z fights.
Yeah, am I
Ooh.
going to need those minutes? Like, oh boy. Well, here we go.
It all comes down to this.
Wait, we're supposed to say something during all this, right?
Yeah, let me do it real quick. This is Final Fantasy support for Enterprise. We're a randomized community. We randomize everything. We randomize bosses. We randomize the songs. We do it just about everything. The one thing we can't randomize is the Zemus sprite. So instead of doing that, we just randomize the sprite to make sure that it can be just about anything. One of 700 possible objectives or sprites that are curated by our wonderful community team. So the question that we always ask with the Z flag that goes on: whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Do you need oxygen after that?
It would help. Yeah.
Okay. You sound winded.
Just a bit.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Now, wait a minute. I
Hold
can't
on.
suplex
I know
this.
this one. I know this one. X, Y, down, up. Go. Okay, so the one thing that concerns me about these Z fights right now, well, obviously Flossie is self-explanatory. We're berserking two people, and then we're praying to God they live. Rydia, on the other hand, if Rydia didn't put the crystal ring on Talon, this is a 23 agility Z fight without getting people zerked up. This is gonna go fast, and that is scary.
Both Rosas take the counter nukes on both sides. That's an immediate big bang on RydiaCallers. This might be a little rough.
Chat saying Rydia's Talon is at 28. Okay. Yeah, as long as Crystal Ring is on Talon, then we should be, but I would still be getting people zerked here, unless we're trying to go full reflect here. Which might be the case. It may just be reflect, dart with a spoon to finish it. Like,
it's going to be close. I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to use mods. I know you're out there, but I can mod too. So I'm just saying that the dreaded T word is in. Yeah, that's in there.
Look, they haven't banned me from comms yet. I'll say tie till I go blue in the face. Fine. Look, who's the admin on duty that has to deal with the retime on this? Probably is it Scarcer? If it's Scarcer,
it might be me. I might have to be the one that has to do it. Is the problem?
Oh well, if you're retime, no, then we don't want. We don't need you having more work.
Yeah, well, someone else help me out, please.
Yeah. Pancreas, everyone. That's a neat part. Oh, is it by committee? Is it like where you call shotgun for in front of a car?
I know
not calling shotgun.
Oh, it is close though. Oh, that's a rough big bang on Rydia's side.
Uh-oh, that's not bueno. I mean, power couple, but also he's already shit. You're dead. You're dead. That's just a reset and go. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Flossie is nice and clean right now.
Yeah. Like I said, that was kind of the big thing about her fight is you know you're doing 4,000 to 5,000 a round. At the end, certain people are going to be alive. It's going to be Rosa, Yang, and Cecil. Just keep Cure 4ing them.
Ooh,
keep
that Rosa got close.
Yeah. Keep Cure 4 running, keep Berserk running, and... See, there's the shake again. I think that nerf.
I think he's trying to nerf it, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really bad rotation, so. That's a counter, and then this will come out at full power.
Yeah.
That was quick, though. That might be okay. Okay, yep, you're fine.
You got the counter, but I think at the same time where...
Yeah,
man, he's shaking so fast.
Shake immediate, like, yeah.
Was Rydia the side that had the good agility, or is this one at like 23?
According to chat, the Crystal Ring is on Paladin right now. So this should be a 20 agility Z fight.
It's like a 3-to-1 Big Bang cast on Rydia's side. That's how weird the agility is right now.
And part of it too is, usually we look at things like, Silk Web to slow down Z, or running it like Battle Speed 3, so you have more time to get actions in. I'm pretty sure this is on Battle Speed 1, which is usually more played around with, like, if you're running, Berserkers, you can get away with running on 1. Or unless you're not human and, you want to do casters on 1, but there's a very small amount of people that get away with that one. Yeah, meanwhile, Flossie is just, like Black Hole, get Berserk up and running, do your, couple thousand around, and just keep going.
Just call it good, yeah. There's the nuke, so we are in phase 2.
All the credit to Rydia, though, for holding on to this fight. I honestly thought this fight fell apart minutes ago, so...
I probably would have reset.
Yeah.
Personally.
Now,
but yeah, credit to holding out.
Exactly right now.
And you're holding off because you haven't seen the dot done. You're like, man, if I could just squeeze out a little bit more damage.
Yeah.
Also the counter nuke, so it's phase 2, but I think the Big Bang is coming almost immediately. Yeah, there's the Big Bang.
And that probably is going to wipe out him. Yeah.
All right, Flossie.
Yep.
That was a fantastic try. It just lots of... Yeah, 28 agility. It's just a matter of getting the Silk Web off.
Yeah.
Rydia started the fight first, too, right?
Close enough that...
Yeah, I don't know if it matters, yeah.
It would have involved a retime for obvious reasons, so we'll say yes. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I expected out of Flossie's fight was, yeah, they're dead. They stay on the ground.
There's rocks. Why hasn't rocks become a bigger meme?
This is done. Yeah, this is over. Wow.
And that's the GG's on Train Miss. Flossiefern 145-42 as RydiaCaller starts her second fight. But GG's to Flossiefern. This was just an amazing way to wrap up round 1 of a ZZ6.
I don't even know what I mean. Suboptimal Z fight, and yeah, that's what you make it work. Here are the tools you have. Cool. How am I doing this fight? I don't know, but let's ask her. Hi, Flossie.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, very fun, very cool. Yeah, really good race. GG's to RydiaCaller as well. Man.
Did you know, like, how close did it feel there at the end? Because I know when you're going in blind and you're running, it's always a little bit unusual. You're like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen a dot done yet. But did it feel as close as it ended up being there at the end?
Honestly, I wasn't really thinking about it because I try to just sort of focus on what I'm doing because I'll start drifting off into dreamland if I don't do that. So I didn't really quite have a read on that, I have to admit.
I'll ask the question. Chat pointed this out, and I don't know if you thought about it, but I'll ask you. Right before your grind, you did Dwarf. Unfortunately, Dwarf, well, was Dwarf. Did cough up the Luca key. And right before your grind, you were at 9 key items. Did you think about going down Luca and checking? Or was it more of,
no,
I
Martin.
just need to get these characters online?
Yeah, that honestly didn't even occur to me, I have to admit.
Okay. We were wondering, it's like, you know, there's a route where you go down and you hit 10 and life is great and your grind is half the time, and then there's the other route where, oh, by the way, Val's down there, which...
Right, I mean, I'm glad I didn't do it, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. In hindsight, like, yeah, no thanks. I'm good with that. 48 boxes. Did you feel like you looted enough in that scene?
Yeah, I did, really, and the only thing that was on my mind, was just, like, a better weapon for Cecil, so you saw, I'm sure that I just looted part of, Zot, or, you know, the treasury there, and I was just done after that. I don't know, I tend to get inventory boss, so I try to strip it way down when I'm running.
By the way, like, you opened 4 or 5 boxes, or what it was in the treasury, was it just find a weapon for Cecil and go?
That was exactly what I was thinking. I was like, please just give me a lightsaber, I just want to get this done. And I got 2.
And the treasury will provide. Yep. With the routing and everything, obviously you weren't expecting go mode courtesy of the Mura altar, but hey, it reared its head. You took the Polrom. The idea was obviously to have 2 Zerg casters in the Z fight, which obviously worked out really well for you. Were you under the idea, were you trying to get Polrom more levels? Was the plan, if Mura didn't hit, to go down and do Ribbon or something along those lines to get more experience for her? Or what was the game plan after Mura?
Yeah, I probably would have done Ribbon, and honestly, what I was thinking with Porum there was she had just a little more utility than Edward, because she could probably Zerk, and I'm just way more comfortable, doing Zerk strats for Z, and I didn't really, you know, my MacGiant grind was a little cut off, so, you know, I figured, like, if I can just get 2 Zerk casters going, at least in the beginning. I honestly didn't think Palom was gonna survive that much. So, you know, that was awesome, actually.
Yeah, it worked out really well. So yeah, the Z fight was exactly what we expected. One thing we noticed, and I'll point out to you, you probably know this now, but the Artie bow on Palom doesn't activate unless you put the arrows on it.
Yeah, I got the news in person, actually, right after. I knew I had kind of blundered somewhere, but I just like didn't want to stop and think about it, honestly. Yeah. It was just like, 20's what it is, it's fine, I'm gonna try this.
Yeah, just make it work. And yeah, no, you had the right 3 characters for it, and obviously came out with a win, so yeah, it worked out really well for you.
I felt real smart because I was like, oh wait, he's left-handed, and then still it was at 20, and I was like, I've made a fatal error somewhere, but I'm not going to think about it.
So, one question with the routing, because I don't know if you know this, you and RydiaCaller were doing your grinds on the MacGiants at about the same time. That's where the kind of the key divergence in the race happened, what I thought. You drove back to the blue planet, you did your Luca Key, which was an objective, you did the Barren Basement, which is an objective. Rydia actually started with Mura Altar. What was your decision-making process there? Where to go, where, at what point?
Honestly, I just try to get the whatever's kind of easiest done first. It helps me sort of organize my steps, if I think of it that way, so that's probably what I was thinking there.
Easy enough. I mean, it's interesting that ended up being the deciding factor, because you did all those things first. then as soon as you finish that objective, we kind of knew that you were going to find Go Mode along the way. Whereas RydiaCaller, interesting, it came down to very close, was still looking for the final objective, but found the Forge, the second half of Forge, in Cave Bahamut. Yeah, which made it a much more interesting race, I tell you what.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, honestly, again, I wasn't really that focused on Palom, so I was kind of like hoping that Forge wasn't going to be my last thing before the Crystal, because I knew he was going to be underleveled for that fight. So, yeah, interesting.
Well, either way, you came out with a win. So, congratulations.
Yeah, it was super fun. And yeah, thanks to everybody who's putting this on. Yeah. Thanks to RydiaCaller, wonderful opponent. I mean, it just couldn't be more fun. I love tournament season.
It was a good time. Looking forward to seeing you next week, whoever your opponent may be.
I'll be here.
I'm guessing the admins have work to do after, because this is the last race of the week. So, hey. You get to go and relax now. Yay!
You know?
And practice. More practice.
Yeah, I know. I gotta practice.
We all gotta practice. That's part of the deal, right?
Yeah.
But
well,
one more GG's, yeah, flossiefern.
GG.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, this train's gonna get the business this time.
Doing all right. I think it's still a little bit speedy, but we at least have. Okay. Well, our Edge just immediately got counter-nuked.
Sorry, Edge. I was gonna say, wait a minute, who has the veil up right now? Does anybody have the veil up right now?
I don't think anyone has a veil up right now.
Okay.
We are just trying to get people up.
We're stabilizing. I mean, we have a lot of damage out. This shouldn't be too far from being done.
You know, we're in phase 2. We're getting the nukes. And there's rocks.
Okay. All right, bonus points, kamikaze kill on Z. Go.
Swag points.
Let Wang blow himself up.
I think we've already risked things a little bit. We're gonna keep it safe with the Cure 4.
There we go.
But I think it's the full nuke there.
That will do it. GG's to Rydia.
154.56, although simultaneous Z fights, that was much closer than the final time would suggest.
Yeah. And Z equalizes anybody. And, you know, unfortunately, Rydia will tell us. Hi, Rydia.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I didn't know I was distracted.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Yeah, Z fights. They are the business. They will still get you.
So I know better than to go in at Battle Speed 1 when I'm not 100% comfortable with the group or the party that I have, and I still did it anyway. So got punished for that.
But none of us ever do that going Z fight. Like, why is Z getting so many? Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, I prefer Battle Speed 3, but
yeah.
Just.
But also, all the credit in the world to you for holding that fight as long as you did. Like, both myself and Vitation was like, oh no, this fight's done like 3 minutes ago. It's like, no, she's still going. Like,
there was a few times where I was gonna reset and just didn't, and I probably should have, but.
Yeah, so no, very impressed. Interesting seat. Very, I guess.
You like me doing Zot twice?
Well, okay, you know, nobody was gonna call that one out.
As soon as, like, I
habit.
Yeah, reset, and I'm sitting in the room, and I'm like, well, this is happening again, I guess.
Yeah, you're like, no, I saved outside of right? Didn't I? Why am I here? What am I? No. I mean, party-wise, obviously taking the edge made sense.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, you did Bahamut, you got paid off on Bahamut. That got you basically into the Z fight the exact same time as Flossie. When you were at 5 objectives, if Bahamut hadn't paid off, what was the plan? Was the plan to stay on the moon and do everything up there, or was it to go back to Earth?
I probably would have went back and did some Earth checks just because the key item likelihood is a little higher. Bahamut was just, for me, because I wanted to get Palom to nuke, it just made sense to do that one first because that would pay off in 2 ways, kind of thing.
Yeah, which makes sense, and it's quick too. And yeah, that was a topic that we brought up was, okay, if it's like the tower key out of Bahamut, does that drive you back to Earth now that you have more checks down there? But yeah, no, it sounds like you had the right idea on the routing side of things, and yeah, it paid off. Unfortunately, that Ford shop it wasn't bad. It had useful items in it.
Palom got an upgrade from the Gaia robe that he'd been wearing that I almost didn't buy at the beginning of the seed. So. Is that?
Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps.
Yeah. God, what else was there during the seed? It was very straightforward. You didn't seem to have a lot of issues during it. The big one for you was doing Evelyn and having Evelyn just pay out. It's like, here's a Stardust Rod to go blow up everything. It's like, oh, neat. That's a fun little tool.
Point, if I have a mage party, I always just go Evelyn. Like it just seems, I know it's not necessarily logical, but for me it's paid out most of the time. Yeah,
it worked out really well. Watery Pass had a heroin robe, but that balanced out once you did Baron and hit those 3 and got that for Rosa. But yeah, for the most part, you both played very well. Like I said, the Z fights were identical. Like you were in there at the exact same time. It's just, like you said, all speed 1, especially trying to run Reflect Mage just gets really weird really fast.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it's funny, this week has been relatively bad for runs for me, so I'm happy to have finished because that when it was getting a little dicey there on the Z fight, I was worried about that. But I think part of it is because I've started going back to Battle Speed 1, and that's why things have been a little dicier, and I just need to play it a little safer until I'm more used to timings.
Yeah. Anything from you, Vitasia?
No, it was just a fantastic run, and I think you'll really enjoy watching this one back. It was a lot of, some interesting divergence between the two of you, and just a really entertaining race, all things said. Like I said, it was neck and neck, so.
It was.
I'm glad. It was a fun seed. I liked the way things kind of, there wasn't really much except for the 6th objective where it was like there's no sort of logical path, which is nice. It's nice when the seed leads you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to face you in the next round. So.
For sure.
I feel bad for your opponent.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do Zot 3 times in a future round.
Could we not? No.
You like seeing Ogopogo? I like seeing Ogopogo.
No, once is more than enough. I promise. So, but no, go enjoy the rest of your weekend, and GG's.
Thanks everybody on Restream. You guys are great. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Take care.
Of course. Yeah, that was RydiaCaller and flossiefern, our 2 runners. Just a fantastic race for those of us watching today. Of course, that's going to wrap us up here for week 1 of Highway to the Zemus Zone 6. It's been a great week. I don't know about you, but I've done some comms, I've raced, and pretended like I knew what I was doing.
Fake it till you make it.
That's the goal. Once again, a big shout out to Dubword, who was doing the tracking, and Ingidave, who was doing the restreaming. Once again, join us over on the Discord. if you want to volunteer or just want to hang out with us. We'd love to have you over on the Discord. And shout out, of course, Martin. This may have been our first time coming together, but this was a blast.
It won't be our last.
Oh, show!
Yeah. All right. So yeah. Other than that, admins will do admin type things, and we'll probably know next week's races here soon. TM. But yeah. Other than that, where